What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. Today's video we're going to be working on my 340i, and today's video is actually sponsored by Keys Motorsports. So if you're looking for parts for your BMW, Porsche, you name it, check out Keys Motorsports. I will have a link in the video description below. But for today's video we're going to be installing new brake pads on the 340, and these are going to be the EBC red stuff. So if you guys weren't aware, the stock pads on BMWs are typically pretty bad. They have a good, decent bite, but they produce a ton of brake dust, and sometimes they even make noise. So we're going to be replacing it with some EBCs today, but we're going to start on the fronts today, so let's show you guys what we got. All right, so I do apologize for any background noise that you hear. It's a beautiful day out here, and people are cutting grass and doing all kinds of stuff. But anyway, again, compliments of the guys over at Keys Motorsports. If you're looking for carbon ceramic pads for your BMW, definitely check out Keys Motorsports. They carry EBC, and you'll see that we've got part numbers here for both the front and rear. So mine is a 2018 BMW 340i, and mine's the rear-wheel drive with the M Sport brakes. So here are the part numbers, fronts and rears. And what's great about the EBCs is they've got a variety of different pad options for you. So depending on if you're tracking the car or if you're looking for, a nice street pad, here's kind of a combination of options that you have from EBC. Today we're going to be doing the red stuff, which I've used plenty of times on other cars. It's the most streetable in my opinion, and it offers a really low dust option. So if you're looking for something a little bit more track oriented, you can move on to the yellow or the blue, but for me, I always use red stuff. I've done it on probably 3 or 4 different cars at this point, and I've always really enjoyed the EBCs. So just to show you guys what they look like outside of the box, these are the fronts. And again, mine are the M Sports. So front pad. And obviously we've got an inner and an outer. Look really nice, and these are going to make a huge difference over the stock ones. The rears, obviously a little bit smaller. There you go. So we're going to start on the driver's side, or I'm sorry, we're going to start on the passenger front, and the process is going to be the same for both the front and on both sides here. The only difference is the driver's side is going to have a brake wear sensor. So I'm going to show you guys how to do the process, what the process is here on this side first. So again, what we're going to do first is put the car up in the air. I've got it on a jack right now, and I'm going to take the wheel off and come back to you. All right, so I've got the wheel off, 17mm lug nuts if they're stock still. As you guys can see here, I've got the M Sport brakes. It's going to look like this. So if your brakes look like this, it doesn't matter if it's blue, red, gray, black, whatever. As long as it looks like this, this is going to apply to you for the DIY. Essentially, you'll see here that we've got the stock pads. I've got about 44,000 miles on the car, and this is what they look like. All right, so the fronts are actually incredibly easy to do. You don't have to remove the caliper, which is really makes things a lot easier. It's actually super easy. So what we're gonna do first is you'll see right here we've got a couple pins that are holding in the pads here. So there's a pin here and there's a pin here. All you need to do is take a flathead screwdriver or a skinny Phillips, whatever, something simple, or a punch, and then take a hammer and push these out. One on top, one on bottom. I'm just gonna hit it just to get it started. And you'll see that we've got this retaining clip here that's holding the pads into place. And so those pins actually slide across through the pad, the back pad, over through the retaining clip, through the front pad, and through the caliper again. So all you need to do, after you hit it out a little bit, just like so. Should be able to grab it at some point. You also want to put your hand here on the actual clip itself and take the tension off of it. And once it's loose back here, you can pull it out. So here's kind of a better angle of what I'm doing here. you can see that I'm pushing this through the hole here and onto that pin. Kind of need to line it up so that it touches the pin, and then just keep hitting it out until it frees up. And you can put your thumb here, relieve some of the pressure on the retaining clip, and then pull it straight out. So this is what the pin looks like. It's obviously very dirty, so we're going to clean this up as well, but same process on the top here. Put my screwdriver through there, right onto the tip of that pin, and push it through. And at some point, there we go. So we don't have to tap it very hard, and then put your finger here on the top of the retaining clip and pull this straight out. Now we've got that pin. At this point, the retaining clip is going to be pretty much loose here, so we can kind of prop that out with a screwdriver. So if for some reason your retaining clip does not come out, because it is kind of wedged in there, we can actually pull this whole thing out. Just use a screwdriver here. Let's see, we've got a little bit of, there we go. Oh, so it popped out. But here's what the retaining clip looks like. So it's essentially going to go back on just like that. And what happens is the pins, again, go through the back of the caliper, through the pad, through here, and slide behind just like that. So it sits like that when it's actually in the caliper. So when you're reinstalling, when you put it through the backside, you want to make sure that it's through these 2 points here. That's basically what holds it into place. So now that we've got this off, we'll go ahead and put this on the ground, situate it exactly the way it came off, so we know that that's the order that it goes in. And then at this point, what's nice about this brake being so easy to change the pads, the piston is accessible here. All you need to do is kind of rock the pads back and forth a little bit. So you can see I'm pushing the piston back in. I'm doing it in the front and the back. And then pull this straight out. So there's the stock ones right there. Super simple. Alright, so at this point it's a good opportunity to clean up some of the brake dust that's back inside of here, because all that junk is just sitting there. So make sure you wipe that off, and then make sure it dries up before you put the new ones on. But I'll show you a comparison now of the stock pads versus the new EBC. Alright, so here's a comparison of the OEM pads versus the EBC red stuff. And again, these have about 43,000 miles or so on them. So still a little bit of life left, but compared to the new ones, we've got a substantial amount more on the EBCs. So that's also why we need to push the pistons back in, because we're fitting something a little bit bigger in there at this point. But they pretty much look the same. I mean, they have the same, metal brackets here on the top and same size and everything. So this is going to offer us a much better brake pad in terms of, the brake dust, which is my biggest concern, but it's also going to offer the same kind of OEM feel, which is what I'm looking for. So what we're going to do now, if you look here on the back side, you'll see where exactly the pistons were pushing. So what we're going to do is actually do the same thing on the back side of the new EBC. Just in this area, we're going to put a little bit of caliper grease. So this is what I'm using here, synthetic caliper grease and brake quiet. We don't need to go crazy with this, but we're going to put them kind of in these areas just to lubricate some things and make sure it's all quiet. So we're going to do that on both front and rear pads on the new EBCs. All right, so again, I'm not going to go crazy with it, but just a nice amount. This is probably a lifetime supply of grease here. So just in those areas right there. And then I'm actually going to put a little bit of grease here on the bottom, just where it kind of touches some things. You don't want to get it on the actual pad, on the face of the pad itself, but I also just want to make sure I'm not gonna experience any additional brake squeaks or anything like that. So this is metal touching metal. I think that should be good. And we can go ahead and reinstall. But pretty simple process so far. All right, so everything in here should be nice and dried up and clean. We've got our pistons already retracted, so all we need to do is go ahead and slide these back on. So obviously make sure you're doing it the correct orientation, but it doesn't matter which one you use. If it's, you know, these aren't designated front and rear or anything like that, so as long as you put them in there the correct way. You might need to finagle it a little bit because obviously the pistons are constantly moving a little bit, so I'm gonna have to push that back in a little bit. Just want to work this back in. Okay. Should eventually slide in. Go. All right, those are in there. Should be good at this point. So at this point we can go ahead and put the retaining clip back on. Just gonna take a look here. There we go. All right, so at this point we can go ahead and take our retaining clip, push it right back into its spot. It's gonna just kind of float here. But at the same time, what we're gonna do is take our guide pins, which I'm also gonna clean off real quick. So you could put a little bit of grease on here just to make it slide through, but I didn't really have a problem with it coming out. So the guide pins are exactly the same. The only important part to note here is the orientation of the guide pin. So you'll see that we've got this little ball back here. This is going to be on the back side, so make sure that you're putting it through the back, and once it's in all the way, this should sit pretty flush with the actual caliper. So start here at the bottom. You might need to pull the pad in there depending on how it goes, but and then again you want to make sure that your retaining clip is up here and it's sliding through everything. Alright, so that one's just kind of sitting in there and floating. Same thing, we'll do this here with the bottom. This one is where it's going to be a little bit harder because we're going to have to put some tension on it. So put that through. Push the retaining clip down. And push through that side as well. Alright, so we're kind of situated in there at this point. So we can take our hammer and lightly hit it from the backside. So when you do that, it'll push all the way through, again, going through the caliper, the pad, through the retaining clip, the other pad and through the front of the caliper, and so it should be pretty flush back here once it's all said and done. There we go, nice and flat. It's the same thing on the top one here. You may need to, that one's already in there, so we're good. All right, they're both nice and flat. And there we go. So that side is pretty much done at this point. All we need to do is put the wheel back on, but very, very simple and easy to install, as you guys could tell. The only difference on the driver's side is that it has a brake wear sensor, which I'll show you guys that process as well. All right, so this is the driver's side. So again, the only difference here on the driver's side front is going to be that brake wear sensor. So you'll see this wire that comes down. If you needed to replace this, I would recommend buying it from FCP Euro. They sell all kinds of replacement parts, but pretty simple. It's, you know, wired back inside the wheel well here, but you'll see that the wire comes down here. I'm going to try to retain this, so we just need to be careful. It's basically sitting inside of the EBC pad, or I'm sorry, it's sitting inside of the OEM pad. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the pads here, we'll use the EBC as an example. You'll see that we have this little notch right here. So when it's sitting in the caliper just like that, it's actually sitting in this little notch. And so once I get the pads out, I'll show you closer up of what to expect, but it basically compression fits right inside of there. And when the pad gets low, it actually rubs up against that sensor, and it will send a notification to the car, to the iDrive, and show you that your pads are low. All right, so here's what the sensor looks like. I'm gonna try to salvage this, so I'm just gonna take a little skinny flathead and kind of prop it in here and try to navigate it out. So you see the pads are already coming out too, but you'll see it's kind of stuck in there. So I'm just gonna take a flathead here and try to pull it out. Just know that there's a compression clip holding this kind of into place. There we go. So yeah, it's still good. Still can retain and reuse that. So there we go. So that's kind of how it sits right in that little slot right there. The way that the sensor, brake wear sensor works, you'll see right here, it's got a little nub on the end of it. And so again, once your pad wears down, it gets close to that little nub, and once it does that, it senses and sends a notification to the car saying that it is getting low. So you can try to retain this, but if not, you can buy a new one. Pretty simple. They're not that expensive, and most of the time, a good amount of the time, at least in my experience, at least, you do tend to break them. But I was able to, fortunately, reuse this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug that back in and make sure it's sitting properly, and we should be good to go. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps it up for the part 1 of the EBC brake install. Again, this video is only for the front, so I'm going to do a second video showing you guys how to do the rears, but again, both sides are pretty much identical. The fronts are actually a lot easier to do than the rears, since you don't actually have to take off the caliper or anything. So the only more difficult part, I guess, would be the driver's side with the brake wear sensor. And I was able to retain that. As long as you're careful and trying to remove it, then you shouldn't have a problem. But if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, please let me know in the comments below. Again, huge thanks to Keys Motorsports for sponsoring today's video and sending these over to me to do an install video for you guys. They've been a great sponsor on the channel for a long time, so I'll have links in the video description below if you're looking to purchase a set of EBC brake pads. And yeah, just if you happen to talk to Keys, let them know I sent you. Otherwise, yeah, stay tuned for part 2. I'll show you guys how to do the rears. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching.